One of the factors Earth facing right now is about soil erosion. But what is soil erosion? What are the causes? What are the effects? What are the proper ways of preventing it from occurring? We will gonna be covering this in our video. So, let's start.
Soil erosion. Soil erosion is the detachment and movement of topsoil or soil material rather from the upper part of the profile by the action of wind, especially a result of changes brought about by human activities such as unsuitable or mismanaged agricultural methods that is used by landowners or farmers.
Hello everyone. We will gonna be talking about some of the causes about soil erosion. Soil erosion is caused by a variety of factors such as wind, water, deforestation, livestock overgrazing, and so on. Now we will gonna be cover these four of why is some of the main causes of soil erosion. Number one is wind. When heavy wind blows, topsoil and organic debris are blown away by the wind. This occurs more frequently when the area is devoid of or grass or vegetation. Such situations are widespread in desert and semi-arid areas where high winds blow often. Number two is water. When it rains in the steep places, the dirt is washed away and washes down to the plains. Running water deposits mineral-rich soil in the riverbed, and this deposition of the soil over time can affect the path of the river. Number three is overgrazing. When cattle are permitted to graze on the same field repeatedly, they consume all of the available grass, even the roots. This exposes the topsoil to wind and running water, resulting in soil erosion. Number four is deforestation. Humans have stolen land from the forest to cultivate in order to feed the world's ever-increasing population and to create houses, factories, and other structures. Deforestation occurs when trees are cut down on a wide scale for these goals. The roots of trees keep the earth together, preventing it from being uprooted. When significant tracts of forests are destroyed, wind and rushing water damage the topsoil. We will gonna have a talk about the effects of the soil erosion. Soil erosion has ramifications that extend beyond the loss of agricultural land. It has resulted in an increase in pollutants and sedimentation in streams and rivers, which has caused them to become clogged and caused fish and other species to decline. Degraded regions can also hold less water, which can worsen floods. Sustainable land use can help to reduce the negative consequences of agriculture and livestock by reducing soil degradation and erosion, as well as desertification of valuable land. In the last 150 years, half of the world's topsoil has been destroyed. Other components of agriculture, additionally to erosion, have an impression on soil quality. Compaction, loss of soil structure, nutrient degradation, and soil salinity are a number of the implications. I will be presenting solutions about the prevention and reduction of soil erosion. Number one is water control. In regions where water, whether natural or man-made, is a primary cause of soil erosion, customized chutes and runoff pipes can assist in moving water sources away from vulnerable areas, reducing erosion. Number two, plants with more structure. Using terraces or other methods to stabilize plant life or even the soil around them can help to lessen the likelihood of soil loosening and eroding. Adding strong plant life to regions that are prone to erosion can help to prevent future damage. Number 3 is mulching. It is a temporary erosion control practice in which materials such as grass, hay, wood chips, wood fibers, straws, or gravel are placed on exposed or recently planted soil surfaces. Mulching can stabilize soils and reduce storm water runoff velocity. Number 4 is hydro seeding. It is a planting process that uses a slurry of seed and mulch. It is often used as an erosion control technique on construction sites, as an alternative to the traditional process of broadcasting or sowing dry seed.
First of all, let's talk about signs of soil erosion. Uh, First sign of soil erosion is the gillies through the ground. When you say gillies through the ground, you need to look for like small or river beds, like gullies here and there. Water could be running off anywhere or any place of it, and it takes the valuable topsoil with it. So next sign of soil erosion is cracks in soil. When topsoil is carried off, the remaining soil becomes dry and cracks, just like when some of the rice fields here in Philippines after the harvest, the topsoil will crack because the water carried off the top part or topsoil or top part of the soil. The third sign of soil erosion is wet patches anywhere. When water runs off from one party of your property, it will end up somewhere or some places else in form of wet patches and puddles. So when you see wet patches and puddles, it comes from other kinds or other parts of soil. Last part or last sign of soil erosion is failing plants. You need to look for trend of group of plants not thriving or not blooming plants. It could be a sign that water is running off from that area and the plants are not getting proper irrigation. So if you notice that there is no yet irrigation or there is no vegetation in the area, you need to consider that as a sign of soil erosion.
Here are the do's and don'ts of the ways of how to prevent the soil erosion from occurring. Okay, let's start off with do's. Number 1, reduce the potential for erosion by maintaining vegetated buffers around properties and bodies of water. While grass lawns may help hold soil in place, trees, shrubs, and native herbaceous plants can significantly slow the rate of erosion as well as benefit native wildlife. Number 2, if erosion gullies begin to develop, placing natural woody debris in the gullies can slow the flow of water, subsequently slowing the rate of erosion. On public land, however, only dead, fallen vegetation originating on public land can be placed in gullies and ditches. Woody debris and materials from private land cannot be placed on public land. All material placed in gullies should be placed in such a manner to slow erosion, but not creating a large mound or pile. Number 3 is installing the water bars. Drains and other diversionary measures on private land can redirect water away from gullies and dissipate the flow of water, reducing the potential for further erosion and soil loss. Diversionary measures should be placed on private land. Number 4. If clearing private land adjacent to water bodies on public land, utilize silt fences and other erosion control measures and always obtain the necessary state and local soil erosion control permits for land disturbing and construction activities. Number 5. If soil erosion has already occurred along the shoreline, it is possible to limit the extent of the erosion by stabilizing the existing shoreline. permits can be obtained from the Corps of Engineers to place riprap, natural stone, and or bioengineered materials along eroded shoreline to stabilize the shoreline and reduce the potential for future erosion. Number 6. If silt has accumulated in coves and along the shoreline, adjacent property owners can obtain permits from the Corps of Engineers to excavate the accumulated silt and restore natural depths within the cove.
Now for the don'ts. Number 1, don't place non-natural materials and debris in gullies and ditches. Placing non-natural materials in gullies can constitute an illegal disposal of waste materials and can result in water on non-water bodies. The soil pollution and contamination as a material decomposed. Number 2, don't plant non-native plants and trees to control erosion. When possible on private land, always try to plant native vegetation. Many non-native plants, including the ornamentals commonly found in garden and landscapings, can be invasive and can negatively impact natural plants and animal communities. Invasive species often outcompete and choke out native plants and trees. Only native vegetation may be planted on public land and must be approved by the crops engineers. Number 3, don't clear cut buffers along streams, waterways, and water bodies. Vegetated buffers naturally slow the flow of water and reduce erosion and siltation. Lastly, don't conduct any shoreline stabilization, excavation, or install soil erosion control measure on public land without the appropriate permits and approvals of our barangay or government. Always contact your shoreline ranger or nearest corps officer prior to activities on public land. While many options are available for controlling erosion and removing silt from coves, all action on public land requires approval and permit coming from the government, authorities, officers, or other rangers.